everyone. Welcome again to yet another Kathy Barnette show. Listen, y'all know we have to bring some, let's try to bring some truth to all the manufactured swooning we are experiencing surrounding Kamala Harris, because she went from the most unlikable vice president in U.S. history to now she's like the it girl. I mean, she is everywhere. And as I've said numerous times, it is manufactured. It is media manufactured swooning, but don't take my word for it. Let me introduce my next guest, Sidelle Sydney. How are you?
Good afternoon. I went to Kamala's rally and I do agree with you, but I'm not gonna lie, I did have fun.
You had fun
I had a
because
good time.
because they had a rapper there, right?
Of course, I got to see Megan Thee Stallion for free.
Okay.
I did.
Now, for the rest of you who may not know who Miss Megan Thee Stallion is and what it is that she did at the rally, we're going to play a little clip for you. So this is a presidential rally. And generally, when you have a presidential rally, you're talking about the president of the United States. This is the most important person in the world, the president of the United States. We are the most powerful country in the world. Don't take my word for it. Just look at the fact that everyone is using our dollar. That equates to power. No one really moves unless they consider what America is thinking. So the person who is running for this coveted position, this most powerful position, generally have rallies to talk about substantive issues, and they tend to bring substantive people onto stage to help them prove their point. With that, play the clip.
Now I know my ladies in the crowd love their body. Real hot girls. And if you want to keep loving your body, you know who to go for. Hey. Hey. Yeah.
Hey.
Crazy curvy waist. Yeah.
Yes. That looks real substantive,
see how I
Sidelle.
had
What
fun?
did you learn, Sidelle? What did you
tricked me.
learn about our country?
They tricked me. I learned that it don't matter what age. Like Megan Thee Stallion gonna get you because it was adults, it was aunties there twerking in the crowd. It was a lady with a yellow not union shirt, but some type of organization.
Yeah.
Everybody was lined up. She was twerking too.
She was twerking, yeah, gyrating, right? Yeah. Now, how did that help you better understand the issues that we are contending with in this country? Let's say inflation, open borders. Megan Thee Stallion twerking, how did that help you better understand the issues, Sidelle?
To be honest, even before Megan got up there, the mayor of Atlanta got up there, a lot of people, congressmen got up there. They had the opportunity as well. Like, forget Kamala Harris. This is your city. And they didn't choose to do that. Like, she wasn't the first person to come on stage. They were. So that looks bad on them. Megan just did what she was paid to do.
So what are you saying? So all of these other leaders in Atlanta or Georgia came on stage, and did they take the time to educate the people in the crowd?
No, they got on stage. They didn't ask this lady for anything. They didn't say, where's our black hate crime bill? They didn't say that's what Atlanta wants to vote for. Nothing. They just let her get up there, do what she want to do. She had a flight at 6:30. They were very clear about that. Yeah, Kamala has a flight at 6:30. And
so Megan Thee Stallion comes out, twerks, get everybody riled up, and then Kamala comes out, and then all of the predominantly, I would assume, Democrat leaders of Georgia came out on the stage, and none of them challenged Kamala on any of the issues that matter.
Nothing. They was just basically like forcing you. It felt like I was at a cult. Like they were just like thought reform, just programming you like, and you better do this. And if you don't do that, and the fear mongering was real. Like looking back, I'm like, how did I have fun at something like that? But being there, it will hit you.
I remember back in 2016 when Hillary Clinton was running against Donald Trump. And this was like maybe 3 days, 5 days before that 2016 presidential election. And Hillary Clinton came into Philadelphia, and she had this huge rally, and she brought on stage not Megan Thee Stallion, but Chance the Rapper, Beyonce, Jay-Z. The people twerked and had a great time. Jay-Z came out calling everybody the N-word, and everybody just danced and laughed and moved on. And I'm thinking, when I worked in the financial industry with A.G. Edwards and Bank of America Capital Asset Management, and these politicians would come. I was the first Black person to ever work in Bank of America on that particular floor. And when these primarily white politicians would come into the room, even the Black politician, when they would come into the room, they never brought Celine Dion tickets. They always brought solutions to what at that time in the financial industry, what they thought our issues were. They came in with answers. But it's interesting that when Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris come to a predominantly Black community, they bring rappers to call you the N-word and gyrate in front of you. Why is that?
You know what? Because they know who they want to target. The lower the IQ, the more, you're going to gravitate to just instant gratification. Trump came to Atlanta a couple days after. I went to that one. Michaela invited me. The young lady, Michaela Montgomery.
Yeah.
She added me to her special guest list. I was front row. I got to see her just really perform, and she shook the room. And she's not even like, Kamala Harris is older than her. And she spoke more about the issues than Kamala Harris did.
I thought it was interesting. One of your tweets that you put out. Can you put that tweet up, please, Adam?
Probably Instagram.
Oh, yes, Instagram. Yeah. It was Instagram. You're right. You said, first of all, you look gorgeous in this photo. And this is at Kamala Harris. Is this the same event where Megan Thee Stallion was twerking?
Yeah, that's the same. That's the venue. That's before the twerking began.
Oh, so this is before the twerking began. It looks like a lot of white people, whereas in the
it's a lot.
On the video with Megan, it seems like a lot of Black people. Did they tell the white people to step back and brought all the Black people up front?
You know what? I didn't understand how their seating went, because I wasn't invited. I just kind of snuck my way in, and so I don't know like how the hierarchy was or whatever, but they did look uncomfortable. Like they all had that moment of epiphany, like, oh my God.
Yes. I mean, check out the video again. If we went back, you guys go back, rewind, and look at the video. There's a lot of Black faces, but in this photo, there's a lot of white faces around that at the front of the line at this stage. So that's interesting, but that's a sidebar. Your Instagram post said, "What a time to be a Black woman. All I have to do is walk into rooms and people are convinced I have their best interest in mind just because I smile and look like them." Ring a bell? What do you mean by that?
Come on. You know what I meant by that.
I know what you mean by that, but
some of my friends didn't get the joke. Like Ron, my friend from Maryland, he's a real like he does music and everything. He thought I just switched sides. Like people just thought like, what is going on? It didn't take time out to read.
Because you're Black, you must be a Democrat. Is that what they thought?
Right, because let me tell you what happened. A lot of people that I haven't heard from in years, I didn't even know they still followed me. They just welcomed me with open arms. I was like, oh,
you're so awesome. All of a sudden you're Black again. You're back in their embraces.
So they proved my caption right.
Yeah. I mean, we are taught as children that there is no one like you. There will never be anyone like you. You are unique. Never, ever again will there be anyone just like you. And then you walk into the Democrat Party and they say, shut up. You are undifferentiated Black souls. Because you're Black, you must be a Democrat. And if you're not, then somehow you're not Black. How does that logic, I mean, did that make sense to you?
I mean, I always been called white growing up. Like, you're from New Jersey, right?
I live in outside of Philadelphia. Yes.
But you're familiar. You understand how Jersey is set up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So growing up in Essex County, right? You'll have like the more affluent neighborhoods like Montclair, Bloomfield, South Orange, whatever. And then you'll have like Irvington, East Orange. I grew up in East Orange and then went to Bloomfield. So I was too white for East Orange and I was too black for Bloomfield. So being black, you never know. You just gotta kind of listen to how people talk and you'll pick up on what side they're on.
And that probably also gives you a clue on how you're supposed to show up.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of code switching in the black community because you don't want to offend this group. You don't want to offend that group. But then, you see, I blended in very well. Like they didn't, just.
You're black, you're cute, you're smiling. You must be one of them.
Hey.
How do you live an authentic life like that? Because like you, I feel the exact same way. I grew up in the very deep South of Alabama. And I'm black, I'm country, I grew up poor. I must be a Democrat. How can I not? And the fact that you choose not to be, the fact that you choose to believe you are an individual and you get to think your own thoughts and you're no longer a slave, no one tells you what to think and feel, then somehow you're not quite black enough. But then in some crowds, you're not white enough either. So how do you live your authentic self, Sidelle?
That's a good question. I try to, but sometimes it's like I just get confused. It'd be like, okay, if I'm going to a certain place, I know I have to dress a certain way. Like, that's just how it is. Like, if I'm going to be around, like, people my age, I probably wear a little streetwear, Balenciagas, like, stuff like that. But if I'm going to be around, like, my more, Valley girl type of black girlfriend, then I know I probably have to like put on a scarf and tie it a certain way, like just be real proper. But as long as I can plan for the occasion, I'm good.
Sidelle, I appreciate you exactly the way you are. I appreciate you going into the belly of the beast just to learn and to see. You had a good time because they came with music. I mean, who doesn't like Megan Thee Stallion, right? I think the name of that song is "I'm Hot, I'm Hot, I'm Hot." Yeah, I'm hot, right? Like, why shouldn't I believe that? But I appreciate you the way you are. I understand the struggle. Now, when you look in the media, they say black people are just coming out in mass to vote for Kamala. Do you believe that's true?
Like, I want to believe it because I know people, they want to live like that. A lot of people, they like, being welcoming and higher taxes. That's what they want. But I don't know any people that,
So you don't know any black people who are voting for Kamala?
No, I just left North New Jersey. I don't hear anybody or see anybody really or like my husband, he's from North New Jersey. He's not into politics, but he's not like Kamala Harris, like, no.
Yeah. Do you know any black people who said they're open to voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Yourself being one of them?
Yeah, he's holding my light stand for me right now. Like he's not gonna vote. But if he did, he would vote for Donald Trump. He has Donald Trump's support. I mean Donald Trump has his support, but not his vote.
Yeah.
That's enough though.
What do you think Republicans need to do to really make an impact among black people?
Okay, like I want to say something like this. I could be my authentic self, right?
Please do.
Organizations like Blexit, right? I love Savannah's content, but if they really want to help reach the black audience, they need to use people like Jasmine. They work alongside, right? Like they need to use people like Michaela. Like Michaela, yeah, she could reach the black audience that they want to get to. Because I don't have a problem being around biracial girls, but a lot of black women, they might feel like she's too white. They like to say stuff like that. So you know, they kind of gotta push the culture a little bit more.
Yeah, right. Instead of saying, come and fit into our square box,
Yeah.
they should recognize that we are all different, that we are not all the same. We are as diverse as a box of chocolates, pun intended. You have some smooth ones, you have some nutty
Rough.
ones.
I'm a little rough,
But
like, I could clean it up. But when I first got exposed to, like, you know, summits and conferences and stuff like that, I would meet Black conservatives who, you know, grew up riding horses and were dental practitioners by the time they were like 21. And I'm like, Black people live like this?
yeah,
Yeah,
they
so.
do. They do.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something I had to learn as well growing up in the deep south of Alabama. I say just a blurb of my story. I grew up in a home with no insulation, no running water, outhouse in the back, well on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that's how Black people lived. And then you grow up and you have experiences and you move around and talk to people who don't look like you necessarily or come from your background. And you begin to realize that, I mean, even within the Black community, we are all diverse. We don't all think the same. We don't all come from poverty. We don't all come from two-parent households. We don't all come from single-parent households. We don't all have children without a husband. We're diverse.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I think the Democrat Party woefully misses out on, is that they think because we're Black, we are undifferentiated souls. We're all the same. We all think the same. We all want the same. And it's not true. And I found your story, your experience to be interesting because you're Black, beautiful Black woman, and
Thank
you
you.
went to a Kamala Harris rally
Mm-hmm.
and you put up that Instagram post that these people think I'm one of them just because I'm Black, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in these things.
Because if we were out just regular, they probably be half of them calling me white girl or half of them saying I'm too ghetto. So it's like in our authentic spaces, that's not how we are. So I'm not about to fall for the, you know, run around that Kamala's giving me. We're not united. Black women are not united. Like, let's cut the BS and get back to, you know, business.
What do you think business is? What do you think what's important? What's important to the Black community from your perspective?
I kept hearing the grocery thing, right? But
Inflation.
I kept inflation, but the grocery thing, right? In New Jersey, if I go to Costco, I could get like the, you know, the packs of butter, the big pack. I could get that for like $9.99. The Costco in Georgia, I get that for $14.99. So I'm like, huh. The steaks I like, the ribeye at Costco, you get like 4 big ones in a pack. In Jersey, that's a treat because I'm like, yeah, I'm about to pay like $50 or $60 for these big ribeyes. Down here, they're like $97.
Wow.
So I'm like, this is what the rest of America was talking about. Like, they keep saying it, but they're not giving examples. The gas is the same. You know, I've been here 3 weeks. The gas is the same. You know, rent is cheaper, stuff like that. But the groceries.
But groceries, yeah, you got to eat.
I see what they mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, and Donald Trump said that last night on on an interview with Elon Musk. Our conversation right now is pre-recorded. So the conversation Donald Trump and Elon Musk had would be in our rearview mirror. But that was one of the things Donald Trump said, is that open borders is a big issue for the American people, as well as groceries. And you're right, because you feel it, you see it.
Yeah, that was up close and personal for sure.
Sidelle, thank you so much for taking time out to come and share your experience. And again, I just want to encourage you, from one sister to another, from one Black woman to another Black woman. It's not easy, but figure out. I know you're already doing the hard work of figuring out who you are. And everywhere you go, I don't care if you're in a room full of white people, in a room full of black people, in a room full of hood, in a room full of, the creme de la creme. Be yourself. Get comfortable in your skin. It's beautiful skin.
Thank you.
Be comfortable in it. And just show up and do the very best you can to be your authentic self. Okay?
Yeah. Well, Atlanta, let's see what they have to offer. I love it here.
You do? Are you staying?
Yeah. I live here.
So you've left Jersey for those $90 ribeyes?
I'll take it's worth it. The trade-off is worth it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I hear you. Thank you so much, Sidelle. I appreciate you.
All right. Have a good night.
Wait, stay right there. Don't hang up. To everyone else, thank you so much. Share this. Remember, the point of this conversation, the point of my podcast is just to have dialogue, to have a conversation with people, even those you may not necessarily agree with. But we have to learn how to talk to people again and how to dialogue. Again, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification button, leave a comment, and share. Algorithms are real, people. Blessings. See you later.